let me say this. Out here, a lot of people knew me because of my accent. What is it about y'all Texas ass milkers that's just so damn infatuated with a Creole accent?
I don't know, baby.
The day I moved here, I would have people just come up to me and say, and I am not bullshitting, they would just come up to me and say something. Say something. What you want me to say? I just love your accent. What kind of shit is that? Hi, my name is Maria Auzenne. Make sure you check out my interview on Concrete Reality TV.
Hey, yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Concrete Reality TV, where we strive to know more and do more with what we know. This is our Family Ties edition, where we sit with our family and friends and interview them about their life and their journey. Tonight, we're chopping it up with our Aunt Maria.
Concrete Reality.
No place, child.
Yo, what's up? We got Aunt Maria in the house. What up, though?
What's happening?
What's happening, Auntie?
Ain't nothing.
Yeah, we finally got you. You the first up to bat to start us off on season 2. I'm excited to get into your life journey.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Let's start off. What you doing with yourself now? Where you working? Or if you want to tell us where you're working, because I know you don't want to, people popping up on you or anything like that.
I'm like James Brown. I don't want the people to know I'm in here. No, I am a professional truck driver. I drive trucks.
Driving trucks.
I have
all in the family.
Yeah, it seems like everybody doing that.
Over 20 years now.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you talking about the 18-wheelers, the semis, you hauling rigs and shit.
That would be me.
What made you get into that?
Well, I've always liked driving. That's number one. Number two, I don't like being inside all day. So why not do something you love and get paid good money for it?
We're going to talk about a loan in a minute. Let's invest in this company I'm trying to start up.
And I'm looking for investments now. I'm looking for investments to make because I need my money working for me while I'm asleep.
Well, there you go, because Chris got this company. I think it's a Big Boys stripping company where he's going to be basically tricking out these overweight dudes and then at these different parties.
It's called Teddy Bears Anonymous. Get it right. Teddy Bears Anonymous.
I have been a pimp / madam in my.
There you go.
I think I got experience at that particular occupation.
See, there you go. It's coming out.
We can start our new website. BitchBetterHaveMyMoney.com.
Oh Lord,
it's going down. We did not already start. Let's get it cracking.
Well, mine's gonna be motherfucker better have my money.
Motherfucker better have my money.com. You hear this? So we got 2 companies that's gonna be starting out from this moment.
I'm gonna take a drink on that.
Oh Lord,
I like that already.
And we sipping to that. Let's start off at the beginning. Where were you born? When were you born?
I was born in Opelousas, Louisiana, April the 4th, 1972. That's when the world has changed.
So you started it up, 72.
72, April the 4th.
And do you have any siblings?
I have a brother and a sister and an older half brother. So my mom and dad was married and they had 3 living kids. My mom's first child lived for 10 days and it was a boy and he passed. After 10 days, he had a heart problem, hole in his heart. And then my sister, and then my brother, and then me. So I have a sister, an older brother, and me. And then some years back, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, I found out I possibly have a sister by my father. So possibly. We haven't done a DNA test yet, but I mean, if it turns out she's my daddy's child, then it's not her fault.
Yeah, he was sticking and moving. Exactly.
They was doing moving, sticking and moving. They was sticking and moving. They was chucking and jiving.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
And y'all gotta excuse me because y'all know I do curse. So
Oh man, hey, it's all good.
Welcome to the club.
Too.
As my cousin tell her friends, y'all better bring your own filter because Maria don't have one.
Come as you are.
I found out recently, there's been a whole lot of shit going on back in them days. I'm like, what kind of shit y'all was doing? God damn.
Yeah, a lot of people getting a lot of information, that's popping up, and then people got to confess to it because it's like, I don't know if it's the internet, and then we getting access to records and stuff, but it's putting people on blast.
And also that Ancestry.com, boy, that shit done jammed up a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. A lot of families have those mama's baby, papa's maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then 20 years later, finding out, well, that ain't your daddy. What you mean? What you mean that ain't my daddy? He raised me.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not on Ancestry.com, but Jayline is, which is my daughter. And she has linked up, I guess, through DNA match with people on my daddy's side and my mom's side. So JC Auzenne is my daddy, and Patricia Auzenne is my mama.
Miss Pat.
So, Miss Pat.
Let's talk about your upbringing.
Okay.
You were born in Opelousas, raised in Opelousas.
I was raised in Opelousas up until the age of 9. At 9, I moved to Lafayette, Louisiana, which was about 20 miles up the road from Opelousas. And when I was 15 and a half, which was I think it was the end of November or November the 1st of 87, that's when we moved to Houston, Texas.
It's time.
I did not know. Hold on. Let me take the glasses off. I did not want to come here. I didn't have a choice. I was leaving all my friends and my family. And it was just me and my mom that moved here because my sister and my brother was grown. They had a choice. I didn't.
It was forced upon you, so to speak.
So to speak.
Well, you ain't got no choice. You a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course, because kids don't have choich. And I'm old school.
You don't have no choice, especially back then. You ain't had no choice.
Well, with me, it's today too. A child don't have a choice. Yeah, I'm old school. I'm the parent. You the child.
I'm the one guiding and leading, but these new school parents, they want to see at 2 years old, he should decide whether he wants to crawl or walk. He should decide whether he wants to do that himself.
I'll be a boy or a girl.
He decide if he wants to be Also, he'll decide when he's ready to get out the pamper and use the toilet. You're a damn liar. And with that being said, look, first of all, let me say this. Because there's no one way to raise a child. But with that being said, I disagree 100% with a parent, whether it be the mother or the father, trying to be the child's friend. That's where you got a problem. Because in my opinion, God made one mother and one father for that child, period. Most of the time, that child in its lifetime will come across many, 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 many friends. But you'll only have one mother and you will only have one father. So how in the hell you trying to be that child's friend? But the only person that could come into that circle for someone is that person's spouse. That's the only person that could come into that circle. So stop trying to be that child's friend and be that child's parent. Let me back up and let me say this. My father died when I was 4. So my mother raised us 3 alone as a single mother. She never got remarried. She dated, but she never got remarried. One thing my mother always said, she did not want to bring a man into her house because she had 2 girls. She was always conscious of that. And I have always heard my mother say that over my young years. Now, when all 3 of us became adults, and with me being the youngest one, when I became an adult, we would always say, okay, now it's time for you to get married. Well, shit, by that time, she was settled in her ways, child. She ain't hearing that. But my mother never got remarried. She never lived with a man because, again, her fear of her two girls. She protected us. She protected us. She dated. She had boyfriends over the years. And it's funny because my grandmother was the same way. My grandfather, which my mother's parents, my grandfather died. I think my mother was 13 when her father died, I think. And she had, I think it was 6 kids. I think I have to count. And she never got remarried. And because my mother was the oldest girl, she was the second to oldest child, but she was the oldest girl. So it was her responsibility to help my grandmother with the younger kids, with her younger siblings.
Well, back then they allowed the younger siblings to actually babysit and almost raise their younger siblings.
Right.
But these days, they take you to jail for that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In defense of these days, you got some people letting the older child tend to the younger kids for the wrong damn reason. Because they want to go to the goddamn club.
Yeah.
That's not.
Our parents was working.
It could be done in these days if it's for the right reasons.
Right.
But if you trying to just be in the damn streets, then you need to be held accountable.
No, you're right. I mean, when me and you was in Rio was young, and we were pretty much kept when Mary was at work, or she was because she worked overnights, and then my mom and Barbara was at work. It was Tanya and Regina that kept us, and they were teenagers. You know what I mean? But we already knew the rules.
That's right.
I was cleaning the dishes before you go to bed, or Mary get home, she gonna wake you up out your sleep, make you go clean up the damn.
And look what the reason was for. They was at work.
Yeah, they was at work.
Working to make sure y'all had a roof over your head, food on the table, and clothes on y'all back. That was the reason why Regina and Tanya had to watch over y'all.
Right. Even Kent, Deon, and all of them, they were raised by Mary and my mom. Exactly. Because mama was at work.
Because mama had to go to work.
Yeah, it's family ties. Family ties.
Yeah. What I've come to learn. We live in this country, and man, I done been to some places, and the United States got us messed up because they have other countries that family tradition, raising the kids, is still being done in what we call the old way. They still doing that today. Not in this country so much, but in other parts of the world, they still hold those values very close to the chest.
So going to your upbringing, I want to touch on a couple of spots. So your mom raised your sisters and you and your brother by herself because your dad passed away when you were just 4. Man.
Yeah, my sister was 9. My sister 5 years older than me. My brother is 4 years older than me. My sister was 9. My brother was 8, and I was 4 when our father passed.
Wait! I just got this. So you the baby?
I'm the youngest.
That makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
We ain't gonna correlate just yet.
I bet.
So we got you the baby. So I'm sorry, the youngest, and mom's is raising you. Did you have any male role models during this time?
It's funny because I did have uncles, but my uncles, I mostly saw them on my mama's side and my dad's side. I mostly saw them like for holidays. But the biggest male role models, and I love my uncles, don't get me wrong. I love my uncles. They all taught me something in their own way. But the male models that I give credit to is Mr. Willie, who lived right across the street from us in Opelousas. Mr. Willie and Miss Adele was married. They had 4 girls and 1 boy. And the youngest girl, we still... when I tell you we came up with pacifiers and bottles in our mouth, until this day we still best friends. But one thing, and I don't know why I thought about this as a little girl, every time I see Mr. Willie and Miss Adele, unless they going to work, I saw them together because they partied with my mom and dad also. But when they went out together. It was never Miss Adele going off with her girlfriends or Mr. Willie going off with his guy friends. When they stepped out, baby, they stepped out together. And as a little girl, that I don't know why, they just captivated me. And I always did say, if I get married, that's how I want it to be. Another one, I have about two more. One of my good friends from back home, Brianni, her mother and father, Mr. Benedict and Miss Margaret. I used to go over there a lot when I moved to Houston. About the first 2 or 3 years when I moved to Houston, every Christmas break, I was at their house. 2 years straight, maybe 3. And again, their marriage was, when they stepped out together. Another one was a male role model, was a good friend of mine's out here. His name is J.C. Boxey. And I talk to him every now and then, and I tell you, that man, he was a big influence on me too, as far as a male role model. And he married somebody that was close to my family. They didn't stay married long, but he was a single father. He was raising his son. And when he was married to the lady that I know, I would go to the house a lot. And one thing he taught me, and I guess I was 16. One thing he told me, he said, I want you to always, and I don't know that man like that, but I came to know him. And he said, I always want you to keep a quarter. Now I'm telling my age. I always want you to keep a quarter in your pocket when you go somewhere. And I said, why? He said, because if you ever out there and you're around your friends or whoever, and they go and do something they don't have no business, you can go to a payphone, use that quarter and call me. I don't care what time of night it is, and I'll come get you. He said, I'd rather that than you find yourself caught up in trouble. Stuff like that stuck with me.
So my question to you is, did you ever have to use the quarter?
No, I did not.
Good things.
No. I associated with people that had a good head on their shoulders, as they say.
Well, as they say, I say, because I just made the shit up in my head. Might have been said before, but I'm going to say it today. Good people keep good company. One thing I learned about with quote unquote bad people, or people who just, we'll call it what it is. They knew who wasn't about their life. And in certain instances, it was like, hey, man, y'all leave Chris, because, man, man, you about that music stuff, man. Hey, go play some drums or something, nigga. You can't come with us tonight, because they knew, hey, man, we see your mama walking from the bus stop every day. You come from good stock. You ain't what we into. So we ain't going to bring you with us. You know what I mean? Yep. So I used to be mad, but at the same time, I knew they were looking out for me.
Yeah, I had a cousin. I had a first cousin tell me that she was about that life. But she come from a good family. But sometimes you can tell people, nah, stay home. Do your music thing. But if they want to get into it, regardless of the background they come from, a good family, they going to get into it. And she was one of the ones that was like, nah, I ain't staying home. I want to be about that life. So she became about that life. But she taught me some shit that,
that helped out.
Learn how to keep your damn mouth shut. And learn how to not walk in that particular door. So, people nowadays, these young people nowadays, they want to act like they're about their life. They want to do stupid shit to prove they're about that life. But the way I was taught, okay, you want to be about that life? Cool. Come on. I told your ass to stay home, but if you want to come anyway, they gonna put you in a situation where either you gonna
do
it or you ain't gonna do it.
That's a good way of putting it.
Let's move forward. Move from Lafayette to Houston.
Yep.
At 15 years old.
Yep.
How was that transition for you?
Hard.
What made it so hard?
Well, I'm not bragging. I'm just stating facts, and I do have receipts. Everybody knew me. I was most popular, most talented, most likely to succeed. Not just the student body knew me, but the teachers knew me. They knew I come from a good family. I come from the time where it mattered to you what people thought about you. So I made sure I conduct myself in a manner that the adults, they liked me. Wasn't really worrying about the people my age, because I had enough people that was jealous of me for no reason. And I had just the same amount of people that liked me. So I'm leaving all that and my family. I'm leaving an environment where I had a lot of white friends. I hung a lot of my inner circle was white people. I had a lot of black friends, but my inner circle, my everyday inner circle was white people. So I'm leaving that to go somewhere where I have no clue what the hell I'm walking into. And to top it off, I don't know, it's funny because when I was leaving, I was going around all my different classes, having the teachers sign, I guess it was just transcripts or whatever they were signing. So everybody knew I was moving to Houston. And a lot of people kept telling me, Maria, is this school named Yates in Houston? Don't go there. They bad people. I mean, it was nothing nice said about Yates. Nothing.
So wait, so when you moved to Houston, did you end up going to high school? You were a freshman at that time?
I was a freshman in high school.
Oh,
but I
what
had
a
already
time to move.
started. Exactly. And here's another thing. Back home in Lafayette, we had already started school. Again, when we moved here, it was either the 1st of November or the end of November. And the school that I came from, it was 50% white, 50% black. And the blacks and whites, they intermingled. They got along. You still had your little group over here, your white group, your black group. But they played sports together. They were in social clubs together. So we mingled. And me, particularly, I had a inner circle of white friends where I was the only black girl in the group.
We know that we will never part.
So saying that particular school, which is Northside High in Lafayette, Louisiana, Vikings,
Vikings.
95 to 90, and I am not over exaggerating, 95 to 98% of the student body at Northside High School participated in school activities. Like we had bonfires, we had, for homecoming, we would go in the gym and it would be the freshmen and the sophomore, the whole class, the freshmen and the sophomore sitting on one side of the gym, the juniors and the seniors sitting on the other side of the gym. Man, we lit that damn basketball gym up. So it was a song at that time called, I don't know if that's the name of it, but it was Shout.
Oh, yes. Tears. Was it Tears for Fears? Yeah.
These are the things we can do without seniors.
Okay, I just seen it.
So that's what we was doing that day. And the louder, and we would say all kind of other stuff, but the point is the loudest class would win the homecoming thing. And the freshman class hadn't won it in years. But that year we won. Cause I'm telling you, the freshman class, we tore the roof off.
Y'all was loud as hell.
We was loud as hell. So it was things like that.
Yeah, you don't want to move because this is a whole new scene for you.
Whole
coming to
new
Houston.
scene. I also won best dressed too. I'm just saying. Let me tell you.
Oh, you was like, so look, wait. We got to pause because I don't want to move too fast. I don't want to miss out on young Maria. So let's get some things established about your personality. Did you do any sports, music, or anything like that? Dance?
Oh, shit. You want to go that far back? I was in tap dance. I was in ballet. And I'm laughing because I was chubby in ballet. I was in ballet. Man, my mama had me in everything. I was in pageants ever since I was a baby. Before I turned a year old, I was in pageants. Baby pageant, tap dance, and this pageant. I was in an AKA pageant. It was a AKA sponsored pageant. Again, I got receipts. I was in the band.
Play piano?
No, but I wish I did. Okay. I was in the band. I played the damn clarinet for like a week or two. I did not like that instrument. And then I wanted to play the trumpet. And I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was easy because it only had the three.
She got about the breath, breathing in the lips.
Breathing in the breath.
And so before my mom was able to get me a trumpet, because she had just got the damn clarinet, I was playing the, I think it's the baritone, not the baritone. What's the tuba that sits on your knee and the horn is
the horn that sticks up when you sit on your knee and you play through the pipe.
It's a baritone, right?
It's a baritone.
Yeah, I played the baritone.
They never get into recognition, but yeah, they're important to
Shit, I played. Let me tell you something. When I played baritone, I had a whole lot of solo parts. Okay, I was good.
Mm-hmm.
So I played that until I was able to get a trumpet. And it's funny because I went to St. Louis one summer to a cousin of mine, and her son had played the trumpet. He was much older than me. Had played the trumpet in high school, and his trumpet was just sitting in the basement. And I say, "Ooh!" And my cousin, but she's way older than me. She said, "I heard you play the trumpet." I said, "Yeah, Mom, gotta give me a trumpet." She said, "Well, you can have Steven's trumpet." Lord, I thought that was the best thing. I came back to school, my own trumpet, baby. I was ready. I came back with my trumpet, and I played the trumpet. Altogether, I was in the band for 4 years. I played soccer, only black girl. I only played because my best friend was playing. It was her first year, so she was like, "Come on, play with me." I was like, "Okay." I didn't like it. About a year or two later, I got a black coach. And when I tell you, that man taught me everything about that game. And I fell in love with it. So, yeah, played soccer. I can't think of nothing else at the time. And that's another thing. When I moved here, I didn't know nobody. I knew my best friend, but she lived on the north side because her people from Louisiana. So every time she would come to Louisiana, she would stay with me. So I knew her moving here, but we moved to the south side of Houston. She lived on the north side. Because I kept telling my mom, "I want to go to Smiley with Sean. I want to go meet Sean." I didn't get it that, hey, north side, south side, Sean
South
way
side.
on the north side.
Yeah.
Totally different side of the town. Houston is
Totally
a very big
different
city.
side. And I had first cousins that live here, but I didn't know them like that. Not like my cousins back home. So
Right.
she said, "Well, you got 2 cousins going to Jones." Lord have mercy.
Oh, Jones. I hated
that fucking school.
I didn't go there. I just didn't like Jones. I thought it should never exist in the first place.
I hated
Why
that
is
school.
Jones there?
Let me tell y'all something. I hated that school so much. My grades showed how much I hated that school. I'm not saying I was a straight A student, but I could hold my own. But I hated that fucking school. It was no student activities. No student involvement to the level of where I came from.
Why did your mom move to Houston?
For a better opportunity. A better opportunity as far as, jobs, better jobs. That's why. And let me say this. It's funny. It's funny because now my mom a single parent, right? So when she told my grandmother she was moving to Lafayette, my grandmother like, "What you want to move to Lafayette for?" Better jobs. Opelousas is small. So we moved to Lafayette. My grandmother was cool with it. So when she said, "Well, moving to Houston," my grandmother was like, "What you want to move to Houston?" Every time my mama moved,
It was a problem.
but it was
that would be a problem.
It was for the betterment of her and the kids.
Right.
So she didn't worry about what my grandmother thought. I mean, she considered it, but obviously she ain't worry about it because she did what she wanted to do. And I think that's where I get a lot of mine from.
Well, the ambition is clear. Miss Pat, rest in peace. I still miss her gumbo.
Oh, yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
We knew we were going to eat good over there, boy.
So we are in H-Town now. You're going to Jones. You're in a predominantly black school. So you got all these Negroes running around. This is the first. You came from 50-50, 50% white, 50% black high school. Now you in the hood. What is it like?
Motherfucking hood.
South Park.
I'm not in South Park. I'm in South Park.
TH is off. We taking the
right.
TH off.
So you wasn't zoned to Sterling, which you would have been great at Sterling, by the way. Shout out to Sterling, Rashad.
I was a zone. When we moved to Houston, we went straight to Holly Hall. So I probably was zoned to Yates.
That's on the west side.
I don't know, but my mama used my aunt's, which is my daddy's sister, used her address for me to go to Jones. And she lived on Bell Bay in South Park. South with an F.
Yeah, that's South Park.
I don't know if that's y'all next question, but when I moved here, I had 2 first cousins going to Jones. I was a freshman. One of them was a junior. One of them was a senior. So that's why I went to Jones my 9th and 10th grade year. Now, with that being said, like I said, when we first moved here, we lived on Holly Hall. It was a young guy in the same apartment complex that lived in our apartment complex. His name is Shade. And me and Shade been friends since I literally moved to Houston. And he was going to Yates because his grandmother lived in, what they call that neighborhood? South Union, I think, on the other side of 288 from Holly Hall.
I don't know the name of that neighborhood. I just know 288, Holly Hall, Astrodome area, and all that stuff.
I think it's South Union. I think it's South Union because if you go east on Holly Hall, it crosses over 288, dead into the neighborhood. I think it's South Houston. Don't quote me on that, but that's where his grandmother lived. But him and his mom lived in the same apartment complex as us. So he was going to Yates, and he was in the band, and he would always, ever since I moved to Houston, Maria, come to Yates. I said, I didn't hear some stuff.
Remember what they said. Don't go to Yates.
Don't go to Yates.
No, and he would always tell me, he said, Maria, it's not like that no more. It was a long time ago. It's not like that no more. But that being said, when my two cousins graduated, I said, okay, well, I know Shade, so I'm going to go to Yates. I went to Yates my 11th and 10th grade year, and I can truly say, I wish I had went when I was in the 9th grade. I love JY. JY 3rd Ward High, baby. What's up? I rep JY.
He's giving a thumbs down.
And I give thumbs up.
Raw Shaw, South Park, baby. No. South Side, South Seal for Lil. Balling in the mix. You know Sterling and Yates. Sterling and Yates. That was our rival. They stopped allowing Yates to play Sterling.
Why?
Because y'all
was getting y'all ass whipped all the time.
It wasn't no ass whipping. It was just too much
violence. Of course.
It was too much of that because the 3rd Ward, South Park, the rivalry, the hoods.
Yeah.
Back then it was drug game. We was growing up in the 80s and 90s. And, it was just too much. And they were like, look, we cannot continue this. So I remember when the only time we played Yates was my freshman year in Sterling. That was 92. And we didn't play Yates no more after that.
Well, I went to Yates my 11th and 12th grade year. And I wish I had started at Yates because I fell in love with Yates. I don't know.
Yates had some beautiful women.
Oh, thank you very much.
I just said thank you.
I ain't gonna lie. We used to go up the Yates just to mess with the women though, because they, them 3rd Ward girls. Because it was a cross between. So correct me on this. 3rd Ward had two sides to it, right? It was the wealthy side of 3rd Ward, and then it was the hood. And majority of those, they merged together at Yates. But am I wrong about that, or am I right about that?
You are correct, unless the wealthy people had their kids going to a private school. But with that being said, yes, you are correct on that. And also you have to take into account, Yates is right dab in the middle of U of H and TSU. We are the sister, little brother of those two colleges or universities. And Yates, man, let me tell you something. Shit. 3rd Ward High, baby. Ooh, say what?
3rd Ward High.
Ooh, say what? Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. Ooh. Yeah, there you go. Wait. So let's keep it moving.
And the fact that my best friend was in the band, baby. Me and his mom was at them games all the time. And Yates band represented, baby. I was,
But wait, how come you didn't get in the band at Yates?
Yeah, I love to hear this.
Going into high school, baby, I was too mature for the band. Only the geeks and the nerds was in the band at that time.
What?
So what category did you fall in?
Because listen. When I was a freshman in high school, I was still in Lafayette. So when I got to high school in Lafayette, I didn't get in the band. Because only geeks and nerds was in the band. And I wasn't a geek. And damn sure wasn't a nerd. But I was damn good. I was in that advanced band, so I could have done it, but I venture off in other things.
So we're going to go into these other things. I told you it was going to get deep.
Come on, I ain't got
So
to
what
swim.
type of
You push me in the
what
deep.
type of high school activities were you involved in? Were you in, like, what was your go-to after school? Were you involved in any community?
I did get a job when I think I was 16 at Bennigan's, baby. Shit, and that's when Bennigan's was popping on 16.
Was that, hold on,
I
was
was
that the one
16.
on 16?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
dang.
niggagans.
Yes,
That was
sir.
nigga.
I was the
Yep.
first
That was
person you saw when
niggagans.
you walked in the door, baby, because I was the
The
host.
hostess.
Two,
Oh shit.
smoking on. Right this way, please.
Yeah, that we call that niggagans. That wasn't Bennigan's.
Exactly.
Yes, it was. I was there. Listen, I was there when they had to start charging on Saturday nights just to get into a restaurant.
Dang.
Yeah, that was correct. Bennigan was the spot.
Yep.
Let me tell you
That was
something.
the
I
spot.
was there. I forgot the guy's name, but I got a picture of him. When one of the biggest dope dealers in Houston at that time, he would be at Bennigan's all the time.
That probably Corey Blunt, especially in.
I can't remember his name, but he was
If he was on the south side, probably Corey Blunt, one of the Blunt family members. Don't ask me how I know that.
Incriminating yourself.
You know, yeah, he just heard.
Fizz, I don't know nobody.
I don't know
And plus,
nobody
he's still
either.
locked up. I think Corey got out of jail. Corey got out of jail like 4 or 5 years ago. So he on the streets now.
Well, I also knew somebody else. I'm not gonna say no name, but I don't know. Anyway, he didn't go to Bennigan's either. Don't ask me how I know him, but I know him. But anyway, I worked at Bennigan's. No, I'm not, because I worked at Bennigan's, and whoever came into Bennigan's, shit, everybody got to eat.
Yeah.
So if certain people frequent that establishment, then shit, what's wrong? That's not a
You
crime.
know who they are. Yeah.
I worked there.
So let's go into your senior year. You about to get out of high school. You about to go into this ventureship of adulthood. You're going to venture into adulthood, and you about to find out about life. What's your senior year like at Yates?
I had a ball. A lot of people knew me by the end. And let me say this: out here, a lot of people knew me because of my accent. What is it about y'all Texas ass niggles that's just so damn infatuated with a Creole accent?
I don't know, baby.
The day I moved here, I would have people just come up to me and say, and I am not bullshitting, they would just come up to me and say something. Say something. What you want me to say? I just love your accent. What kind of shit is that?
Because y'all put an O in everything that don't belong. Like O is, oh baby, like it's heavy.
Back up.
You see how you say hold on? Like that hold on. Like that, the accent, that even Juvenile put it in his records. Hey. What is the infatuation with the O?
Break us down.
Break us down.
I can say some shit that ain't appropriate for this.
Yeah.
So, do you speak French?
A little.
Broken French?
Not. I can greet. I speak Creole. It's a difference between French and Creole. Just like it's a difference between people from Spain speaking Spanish versus people from Mexico speaking Spanish. That's from my understanding, people from Mexico speaks broken Spanish versus the people from Spain. Same thing with the Creole culture. We speak broken French. Now, if you take someone from France and someone that speaks Creole, they'll understand each other. They basically know what they're saying. It's just the how do you call it? The dialect. The dialect is there. So I know a little. My grandmother. Let me tell you something about my grandmother on my mama's side. Because my grandmother on my daddy's side, she died. I think I was 2 months old. And my mama said I laughed hard like her, like my grandmother on my daddy's side. Now my grandmother on my mama's side, it was 17 kids. 17. Damn. And my grandmother, you know how most huge families have an older group and a younger group. Well, my grandmother had an older group, a middle group, and then the younger group. So my grandmother was part of the younger group. But when she and her siblings spoke to each other, they only spoke in Creole. They both knew English very well. But when they spoke to each other, they spoke in Creole. So, you know, I learned some of it. And the first thing we're going to learn is the curse words.
Of course.
Yeah. And the first thing we're going to learn is the curse words.
Is that where you got your tendency to?
I don't know where I got that. I don't know where I got my profanity, my language of profanity from. I don't know.
I got an idea, but we're going to get into that. What is on your plate? What is on young Maria? She's a young high school graduate. What is on your plate at this time? What is on your agenda?
This gonna sound very ignorant of me, but I'm gonna be honest.
No, you were young. We were all ignorant.
Yep.
Well, we're all ignorant because I like to lean on the definition of ignorant because I think it has 2 or 3 different definitions. But I like to lean on the one that says ignorance is a lack of knowledge, and everybody lacks knowledge.
Somewhere.
So everybody's ignorant. Exactly.
Especially after high school.
Everybody's ignorant to a certain degree. But if I would have known then what I know now, it would have turned out a little different. And I say that because when I was back home, I played soccer for the city. And I played for, 7 years. I was pretty good. When I moved here, I didn't know nothing, who to go to for a team. I didn't know any way of connecting with anybody for soccer. The funny thing about that, my senior year at Yates never had a soccer team. But my senior year, one of the teachers coached the soccer team for the girls. The boys had one, but the girls didn't. She knew I played soccer, so naturally I was on the team. Sorry ass team. But they didn't know. So to their defense, they didn't know how to play. I knew the rules of the game. I knew how to play the game, all that. The teacher that was coaching it, she didn't know nothing about soccer. She was just doing it just to do it, which is fine. I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying that to say I did not know back then that I should have positioned myself to try to get a soccer scholarship to go to college. If I would have known that and know how to position myself to do that, I would have tried to get a scholarship, a soccer scholarship. It's funny how people want certain ideas for you that's not what you want. I always had this way of talking to people. I can communicate with anybody. Upper level, lower level, in the middle, it doesn't matter. But one of the assistant principals at Yates had this grand idea that I should go to school for hotel and restaurant management, I think it was. And U of H had an excellent program for that, hotel and restaurant management. I think they had a Hilton hotel on the campus or something. And I ain't gonna do that shit. But I didn't go through with it. Another thing was I had talked to a Navy recruiter when I was a senior in high school. And I really did want to go to the Navy. But let me back up and tell you why. When I was small, very, very young, I've always had this talent or gift. I don't know how you want to classify it, but I was always singing songs. I could sing anything. But it was more of me mimicking the song. I can sing it. I'm singing along with the song, but I know every word. My mama would always tell me, if you get your schoolwork like you know them songs, because baby, I knew them songs word for word, even the ones I ain't had no business singing at that age. But anyway, I'm saying all that. Ooh, come on now. I'm saying all that. I'm saying all that to say this. Ever since I was very, very, very young, I had 3 goals for myself that I wanted to do or be. Number 1 was a singer. Number 2 was an actress. And number 3 was to fly jets. So let's fast forward back to high school, senior year. That's why I was talking to a Navy recruiter. Because I told him, I said, I've always had this dream of flying jets. Can I fly jets in the Navy? He said, yeah. So that's why I was like, all right, let's talk. I didn't go through with it. And I hate the fact that I didn't go through with it. I should have went to the fucking Navy.
Should have went to the military.
Damn.
Yeah. What year is this, by the way?
91. I graduated
So
in
1991, you just graduated from JY, Jack Yates. You trying to figure out what the hell you going to do with yourself now. Where are we at?
Get a job.
Get a job.
And where are we working at this point?
I think that's when I became a security officer. Nope. I did used to work at Fiesta. I used to work at Fiesta on Kirby as a cashier.
But what made you get into the security business?
I don't remember. That's a good question. I don't remember. What did make me get into security? Lord have mercy. I don't know.
Is that old age, or you just trying to avoid the question?
Nah, it was a job. I'm trying to remember. Let me tell you something. I got that CRS. Can't remember shit. So I'm gonna give you the best I got.
So look, okay.
I'll leave
so we're gonna skip that part, but now you're a security guard. You're a security guard.
Yeah.
At what are you doing in security?
I think when I first started security, I think it was at downtown Houston. That's where I met your uncle.
And thus it starts.
And
it begins. Drop us. It begins.
It begins.
You're at a security post.
Wait. Pause.
Go ahead.
Because I don't want to jump into the whole connection with the family yet. I want to know about you as a young teenager, because we missed out on a part. When did you even start liking boys? When did you start dating? Who was trying to holler at you? When did this whole thing of puberty start?
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Junior high, I guess. I mean, boys.
I mean, let's be honest. Let me put something extra on this. You are a red bone, considered a red bone.
No. I'm not a red bone. I'm a pretty
We
bone.
are from Houston, Texas, and we're going to call it what it is.
I am not a red bone. I don't know what y'all definition of red bone out here, but baby, I'm not close to it.
No, let me blow up. Let me give a prime time real quick, and we going to look. All right, here we go.
She is a light-skinned black woman.
That's goddamn
She's
red
not
bone.
super yellow. We didn't call her yellow bone. We call her red.
Red bone.
Red means the color of your hair.
Yep.
No, we not. No, not even close.
This is a dye. This is a dye.
I know. This is a dye.
I waited till I get this age to get a damn dye in my hair. I ain't never wanted to dye my damn hair.
This is a dye. But at the end of the day, you are still very much lighter skinned, or fair skinned, as the white people called it. You're a lighter skinned black woman with long hair. When I met you, you had long hair. Actually, it was kind of curly from what I remember. But when I met you, you was light skinned with long hair, and you look way better than my uncle's ex-wife. I said it. I don't give a fuck.
Well, you look better than all of the women that he's ever dated.
I'm gonna stop you when you're lying.
I was like,
I saw a picture and I was like, God damn.
I was like,
Yeah, we said this on his episode, by the way, and that him we'll introduce later. But before you, the quality, it wasn't up to par as far as I would say.
So we're going back into you're the new girl in school.
So let me say
this.
It's funny you said that because you brought that particular part up. In the beginning, I was always attracted to pretty boys, but I learned, I guess, in junior high.
Christopher Williams type.
I got a lot of them in my family. Don't get me wrong. I got a lot of pretty boys in my family, but I was always attracted to pretty boys. But I think because I was still pretty boy, 7th and 8th grade. Maybe,
So you
I
into the
don't know.
light skin pretty boys.
That was the era, though.
No. Wait.
No, that was the era. That was the era. We were in the 90s era where.
No. They
Go
didn't.
ahead.
It wasn't necessarily light skin. I don't know if I ever been attracted to light skin, but they had to be pretty because they got some pretty brown skin, bro. Let me tell y'all something. Hell, they got some pretty dark skin, bro. Ooh, it was this one. Oh my God.
Oh Lord. The women gonna love this part.
Exactly.
He was black as tar, but he was beautiful.
So did you and this dude date?
Last name Benoit. I was living in Lafayette.
Okay.
Brian Benoit. Lord have mercy. I got to drink. He was black as two, but he was a good looking brother. And that's why I say I was never attracted to light skin. I was attracted to a pretty boy. Because his skin, even though it was dark, it looked like silk. Lord have mercy.
So you were non-biased in the color spectrum.
As long as he was handsome, you were good.
As long as he's handsome, and I ain't lying, I fell into the pretty hair shit. Now he had some pretty hair. God damn it, boy, he had some cold black pretty hair shit. And most of them was brown skin, about my color, but they was very, very handsome. I came to understand, for me, I can't speak for everybody else, but for me and pretty boy ain't gonna make it. Because 9 times out of 10, a nigga think his shit don't stink. And that's where we gonna have a problem. So I fell out of the whole pretty boy thing maybe my freshman year, I think, in high school.
So you lowered your standards when you got the
No,
high
I'm
school.
not gonna say lowered. No, that's your words.
She said,
"You like that's your word, not mine, nigga." I ain't say that.
I didn't know.
She said she just switched she switched her options.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
this is how I will describe it. I learned to look at the person instead of their looks. I started concentrating more on the inside than the outside. Because
so she basically saying
the most beautiful person could be the ugliest motherfucker with a fucked up ass character.
True.
Yeah. If they got a horrible character, they ugly as shit to me. I don't give a shit what they look like on the inside, on the outside. If they rotten on the inside, they ugly as hell on the outside.
So she basically saying she could have did better, but she could have settled for Christopher Williams. But you know, she was like, you know what? You got a beautiful spirit. Segue.
Let's get it.
Segue. You're working at the security company, and you meet a man by the name of Deon Edwards.
Yes.
How did you guys first meet, and how did you interact originally?
As co-workers.
As co-workers.
Yeah. We met and interacted as co-workers.
No, he never came like at you trying to holler or nothing like that. It was just
not strictly work. Not in the beginning.
So when did it come to the point to where he showed interest or you showed interest in him?
We started having personal conversations. And getting to know a person. You working in close proximity. So now it's not just work-related conversations. Now it's personal conversations.
Yeah.
So, we got to know each other. And he was saying, he did tell me he was married, but he was thinking about getting a divorce. And I was like, why? And I can't remember exactly what he said, but I think he said something about he never should have married her or something, or he married her for the wrong reasons.
I'm still working in security. And I'm working at this building downtown, but I'm still married too. And I meet this pretty little old young thing, but at the same time, I'm married. So I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm trying to find a way out of that marriage pretty much, but the writing was on the wall for me.
And the funny thing about it, some of his coworkers, one of them I think was in a wedding. I forgot that dude's name. He's short. Damn, I forgot his name. And he would always say, "Nigga, you married that chick for her money." So I don't know. I heard a lot of little comments and stuff, and he said it himself. He don't know why he married, shouldn't have married her. I think he also told me his mama said, what you get married for? Yeah.
Everybody was at the wedding. Look, I'm gonna be honest. Fuck it up. Bring my little tip.
Drink a little drink.
He said,
Let me get some.
Everybody, even though we was at the wedding, we were like, "Hey, I don't really know who. Really?
This the one?
This the one? We didn't see you with a couple."
And that was the thing. He told me he felt like he should have never married her. He married her for the wrong reasons. I mean, that's what he told me. Mm-hmm. And they didn't even last a year. That's fucked up.
And the Edwards family, that wedding was not the wedding to like solidify anything. It was more like a questionable wedding. And we could say it now because it's past tense, and no disrespect to his first wife or anything like that. It's just the fact that that's what it was a big ass question mark.
Up until now, because we still have a gap of affection and emotion. So we got to figure out what happened to open up this understanding of love and affection, emotion, relationship.
Right. I'm going to tell you this. He was already talking about he was getting a divorce and this, that, and the third. And we were starting to get close. We were. I started getting to know him. And one thing that just, I was like, oh shit. He would talk about his nieces and nephews and how he would, I think one time he had to go up to the school. I forgot who it was for. He had to go up to the school for something, dealing with one of the nephews. And in my head, I was like, God damn, if he gonna be this involved in his nephews, shit.
Might be good.
might be good to explore a little further. Mm-hmm. So, and I was always the type of person that was attracted to things that most females my age wasn't even thinking about. I guess you could say I was always a slight bit more mature for my age. I've always had people tell me that, even as a teenager. So I saw things in him that I was attracted to, as far as, when he would talk about y'all, family, stuff like that. So that attracted me to him, definitely.
Huh. Did you before that? Were you dating older men or into older men since you kind of had an old soul?
Well, no, definitely never dated an older guy. Mm-mm. And it's funny because let me say this. I was always attracted to older guys, but only for about maybe a year older than me. Because I remember when I was in 8th grade, and I was dating the guy in high school. He was either a freshman, no more than a sophomore. Yeah. Lord have mercy. You bringing back some.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do.
I remember in the 8th grade. It is so funny. I remember in the 8th grade, I was dating Marcus Fields. This is in Lafayette. And I can't remember if Marcus, I know he was in high school. He was either a freshman or a sophomore. And for Valentine's Day, he told his mama she got to bring me. It was some brownies in a heart-shaped container, a rose, and I think a card for Valentine's Day. And child, I thought I was the big shit. I was in the 8th grade, and his mama came to the school and delivered this to me. So yeah, I was always attracted. Guys my age was too immature for me, but I've always been attracted to older guys, but never. Deon is 5 years older than me. Never that much of a difference. It was always a year, maybe a year and a half at the most.
How Miss Pat feel about you when you were starting to date back in high school? Was she strict on you? Hell no, no boys. I don't want none of y'all and none of that.
No, it wasn't a matter of no boys. But again, because how I was raised, anybody that I call myself liking, they had to meet my mom and I had to meet their mom. That was a must, even with Deon. Once we were dating, oh no, I gotta meet your mom. Now, granted, before I met Deon's mom, I had already met, Kent, Deetra, Ivory, Shay. I think that was it. But I've always been that type of person. I gotta meet your mama, and you gotta meet my mom.
Well, back then they was rolling hard together. Back then, from what I remember, it was Deetra, Kent, Shalita,
yeah, they were.
Shay,
because
everybody on the same side of town.
When me and Deon really started like dating, like okay, we're dating. He had just moved in with Deetra, and I think that's where I met Ivory at. I had already met Shay because Shay had came up to the job with Joseph, Mike. And it had to be Victoria. I don't know how, but I just remember a little girl being with her. And Shay don't have any girls. Mm-hmm. So I'd already met Shay and Kent. But when he moved in with Deetra, that's when I met Deetra, Ivory, Regina. Because I remember one time Deetra had a movie night. And they had came over. And I remember the first time I met Jordan. You talking about an old soul. Let's see, how did that go? Something about, Deon asked Jordan, something about what did he think about me? And Jordan say, with a matter of fact attitude, he was like, she pretty, but it don't matter what I think, it matters what you think. And I just think that response was just odd.
So let's get back.
All right.
Yes.
Let's get back. Okay. You meet this guy. Mm-hmm. At a security job, Deon. Mm-hmm. What makes you fall for this guy? What did he do? Well, I'm sorry. You said that his family values.
In a nutshell, in a nutshell, his family values. In a nutshell,
his family values. Mm-hmm. And when did y'all really begin to get serious to the point that where he was like, okay, we got to solidify this thing? Was it pregnancy or was it just?
Oh no, it was way before that.
Oh,
it was way before that.
Okay, so explain how that occurred, how it got to that point, to where you're like, okay,
he moved in with Deetra, and again he moved in with Deetra. We was always talking about personal things, and when I say personal thing, family. Mm-hmm. Anything that didn't have to do with the job, we have conversations and whatnot. And he had then moved in with Deetra, and then I was like, I don't know, I might have to see what's up. And his divorce was final, so I was like, well, that's a plus. I ain't finna get down with no married man. So after that, I mean, once it was final,
the relationship began. Yeah. Officially, y'all were together.
Yeah, officially, yeah. And again, I've always been the type of person I got to meet your mama, So he said, okay, I don't know what it was, but it was a big barbecue. Everybody gonna be at other mama in Wharton. Mm-hmm. Because I'm bringing you to Wharton. I'm bringing you to Wharton. That's what it was.
Pause.
Did I touch a nerve?
Damn it! Pause. When an Edwards takes you to Wharton, Texas, you are official. When you go, except when Efrem took Tara, but that's a whole nother thing.
You remember that?
Yeah, nigga, I remember that shit. when you
And
took
you know
Tara, I
what?
was like, what the fuck is she doing here? She's not the one.
It's
But that's
funny.
all. But normally when the network man takes you to Wharton, Texas to meet your other mama and Daddy
Yeah.
James,
Yeah.
yeah,
Before that, I still hadn't met Mama.
right.
I still hadn't met Mama. So he was like, I want to take you to Wharton. You're gonna meet everybody at the same time. Well, everybody that I hadn't already met, which was other Mama, and Daddy James, and the rest of the siblings that I hadn't met yet. But anyway, he was like, yeah, they gonna all be there. And I'm like, I want to meet your mom. I ain't trying to meet the whole goddamn family. but at the same time, I can handle it. I can handle it. Shit,
You're a soldier.
okay, I'm a soldier.
You're a soldier.
I gotta meet the whole family. Let me tell you something. I'm used to meeting no more than two at a time, meaning either mama or mama and daddy at the same time. I'm not bragging, but I've never met a parent who didn't like me. So what this is fixing to be is I'm about to meet the whole family at one time, at the same time. Can you pull it off with everybody don't like you?
Everybody.
Did I pull it off?
Yeah, I think you.
Yeah, you was yourself. You was yourself, so you ain't have to be nobody else.
I never do.
Yeah.
I never did.
So everybody love Maria for who she is.
She gonna keep it real.
So you keep it real. You know what I'm saying? You kept it real from day one to now.
Day one.
You know.
And I always
so we understand. We understand, and that's why the family embraced you so much that it was like, okay, we gonna get into that. So
where you want to start? At Wharton, or you want to go back a minute? Because I got to cover.
Now let's go back. Let's go back a little bit. So you guys, y'all fall in love. Y'all move in together. How was that transition from you being never living with a man to now we have to adjust to adulthood for real?
I moved straight out of my mama's house in with Deon.
Damn.
So not only did I not ever live with a guy before, I never lived on my own before.
Wow.
So yeah. But if that's your next question, let me back up to Wharton, because that's
go ahead.
I mean, moving in, that's way after Wharton. So met everybody at other mamas. I mean, everybody was nice. Everybody that I met that I hadn't met prior to that, they were cool. They was good. I remember Clay. Okay, so y'all remember this? We was going to the park, and a lot of us piled into Mary's van. That's when Deon broke that damn Mary's windshield.
Broke the
window. Because Kent back that time was like, he can't bite
That's crazy. You remember that?
Taking you back.
He was trying to kill a bug, and he broke the goddamn window. Yeah.
Because Deon was sitting I forgot who was driving, but Deon was sitting in the passenger seat in the van, in that black Ford van.
Astro van.
And here go Kent, man, kill that mosquito man before you bite Dominique, man. And hit that goddamn windshield.
Oh my god! It cracked the whole damn windshield. Oh my goodness! I forgot about that. I was like, "What the hell did you just do?"
And again, I'm new, so I'm like, ooh. In my head, I'm like, ooh.
Oh man!
And also, I remember Clay. He was pointing to me. He didn't say it loud, but it was loud enough for me to hear it. He told Deon. He got close to him. He said, "Now that's who I can see you with." Yeah.
That's
because in my head, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't say nothing, but in my head, I was like, "What the fuck you mean by that?" until I understood that his choices in life.
So then it started clicking till later.
I remember this day specifically for that reason that that he broke the windshield or cracked the windshield and shattered. Yeah. I mean. That was the day I showed my uncles that I could beat them at basketball. I schooled all the niggas that day. We all went to the park. I remember that day. I schooled all the niggas that day. And them niggas was like, Chris got some game. Oh, nigga, I don't want to hear that shit, nigga. What you want to do, nigga? Like,
and
was
also when
schooling
we
all my
left
uncles.
that night, when we left that night, I don't know. I know when somebody genuinely like me and not just fronting. But everybody was, going to their cars, getting ready to leave. And Mama said, I want to ride, because I think she came down there with Mary. And she said, I want to ride with Maria and Deon. And I said, oh, yes, ma'am. I said, come on, get in front. We can talk. I would love to, for you to ride with us. And she was like, no, I'm going to sit in the back. I say, oh, no, ma'am. No, You get in the front. I insisted that she get in the front. She insisted that she sit in the back. So you know who won that battle? She did.
Of course.
She did. And I guess we talked, small talk, whatever, talk all the way back. But other mama too, always had a good judge of character. And I guess, from our conversation, that for her was, she like, yeah, this who you need to be with.
And we know that other mama never held her tongue for nothing.
Whoa.
So if anybody gonna tell you,
that's
anybody gonna tell you what it is.
But hold up. But that's only one side of this story. We need to know about your side. What did they think about you dating this new
my
dude?
people. So, okay. So, again, my mama knew if I brought somebody to meet her, they are of good character. They ain't no just anybody. Because I don't bring no anybody. First of all, I don't mess with no anybody. Second of all, I damn sure ain't bringing no anybody to meet my mama.
Right. So,
on my side, it's funny because I had got off of, I guess I was working night shift. I got off of work that morning, came home, took a shower, cleaned up, because Deon said he wanted to take me to breakfast that morning. So I said, okay, cool, So he was picking me up at my house. I said, well, cool, you can meet my mama. And I think my grandmother was in town. Yeah, my grandmother was in town that time, that weekend. And now you want to talk about, that's why I'm telling you, I ain't fucking light skinned. My grandmother high yellow. Okay. I know the different shades of blackness. I ain't red. I am brown skinned. So anyway, so he came and, rang the doorbell, let him in, introduced him to my mama and my grandmother. And they were like, oh, okay, yeah, nice to meet you. Da, 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 da. So we left, we went to breakfast. And when I came back, I remember my grandmother, them old people, boy. My grandmother say, is he African? I say, no, Mama.
Oh, man.
Is he African? I said, no, Mama. Why you say he African? Y'all gotta know my grandmother and them kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
I said, why you say that? This is her.
That look.
That look. But let me tell you something. And that wasn't a negative comment that she made, because you talking about biting tongue. My grandmother ain't bit her tongue. Baby, let me tell you something. My younger aunt, my mom's youngest sister, it don't matter who the hell she brought home. My grandmother did not like them. And she told them to their face, get your ass from away from my goddamn house. And don't bring your ass back at my goddamn house for Rose. That's my aunt. My grandmother was something else. She ain't bite her tongue. But she ain't never spoke an ill word to Deon or about Deon. Them two there. Every time we go home, or if my grandmother was in town, and I guess that's just, once me and Deon, I guess, moved in together or whatever, started a family. Oh, them two there? Shit. where Deon at? Where Deon at? When we would go home, because I'm gonna tell you, Deon had a way about himself too. He was a charmer. He knew how to conduct himself.
Right.
And my grandmother liked that. So I always knew my grandmother would always have wine, a red wine with her dinner at night and other stuff, cantaloupe, whatever. But she would always have a red wine. And one day we was out there and Deon, him with his damn Crown and Coke. We was at my grandmother's house. And I think he wanted to drink, but he was being respectful. Mm-hmm. So what he did was, unbeknownst to me, because he called him more like we did. So he said, Momo, can I ask you a question? And in my head, I'm like, he said, you mind if because we was at her house, and again, he was being respectful. He said, you mind if I have a drink in your house? I don't want to disrespect you or nothing like that. And my grandmother said, which surprised the shit out of me. My grandmother looked at Deon and said, what you drinking? He said, oh, just a little Crown and Coke. She said, well, if you got something for me, yeah, you come on. I never seen my grandmother drink other than something. And Deon went in the car and got the drink and fixed him a drink, Crown and Coke, fixed her some Crown and Coke. And they sat at that damn table just talking like
sipping.
Nobody's business.
I was going to move on up because I want to know more about when because we can't skip over because these are major thresholds for you, because it may not have been something new for old buddy Deon, but this was something new and special for you. Love, living with a dude, somebody and proposing to you. How did you feel when he proposed?
But we went to a steakhouse one night, and he did the whole thing with the ring and the champagne. I think he said Mary told him about this steakhouse. I guess he was asking Mary about a nice steakhouse. And we went to eat at that steakhouse, and he got up. Then he came back to the table. If I can remember correctly, and I guess he went to tell the people, "Hey, put this ring in her glass of champagne." They came back with the champagne, and me not being a drinker, I mean, I know I was going to eventually sip it, but okay, it's sitting there, we talking, whatnot, and I think he kind of drunk his. I don't know if he was trying to. Shit, I don't remember. He was probably in his head. He probably like, goddamn, pick up the goddamn champagne.
Exactly.
I'm not a drinker, so I don't know. I guess eventually, like, well, let's toast. And I didn't know. I know champagne bubbles, but I did notice that champagne was bubbling a little bit too much. It was the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So we made a toast, and he said, "What's that in your glass?" And I looked. I'm like, "Oh." So yeah, he did the whole thing with that. Yeah,
got her. And I'm assuming you said yes, or did you have to think about it?
I said, my goodness. No, I said,
hell no.
No, I said,
y'all already living together, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said yes. And the show starts. The infamous show begins. The marriage, begins, and y'all are happily married. Everything.
No. Back up.
Rewind.
That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear.
We didn't actually get married until I was pregnant with Decory. I'd already had Jayline. Jayline was good. Jayline probably was going on 3 because they 3 years apart. Jaylin's birthday is in October. Decory's birthday is in September, and they're 3 years apart. So
Virgo.
When we actually got married, I was pregnant with Decory.
Okay. Learn something new.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. But let me back this train up. And I ain't trying to throw no mud, but I'm gonna just tell you what I know. I'm gonna tell you what I know and what I remember. I'm gonna say this part first. Deon was always, from day one, insecure. But me being who I am, I'm like, I ain't gonna give him nothing to be insecure about. So, I mean, whatever. Because he would always say this shit. Even when we were living together. When you gonna make your great escape? I was like, what are you talking about? We living together. When you gonna make your great escape? He'll say that all the time. When you gonna make your great escape? I'm like, we living together. Where the fuck am I going? And then when I got pregnant for Jayline, he would say, when you gonna make you? I say, I'm pregnant. Where the fuck am I going? What are you talking about? But that was his insecurity. But let me back up a little further than that. Because when things happen, when people say things, you don't realize in the moment what they mean or what it's going to mean. So I'll tell you this story. And this is before I got pregnant for Jayline. I don't remember if me and Deon had already moved in together. We may have. But I'm not sure. But I know I wasn't pregnant for Jayline. We was at Mama's house. I had already met Vincent, his friend Vincent from the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. I can't remember, but I know his name is Vincent.
Yeah, Vincent.
Yeah, I'd already met Vincent. I don't know, maybe we had all went out or something because I would always go shoot pool or whatever. We used to shoot pool a lot. And we was at Mama's house one day, and this one other mama was real sick because she had to move to Mama's. I guess Mama was taking care of her because she was in Mama's bed, and y'all know how the house is made and how Mama had her bed. When you laying on that one side, you could see straight into the living room.
Yeah.
So Mama was in the kitchen. Other Mama was laying in the bed. And again, she had to move with Mama. I think either Deon went to the store or him and Kent went to the store. I think it was just Deon. I can't remember, but I know he left the house and I stayed. And Vincent came knock on the door. And I answered the door and he said, hey, Maria, Deon here. I saw the car parked outside or whatever he was saying. And I said, nah, Vincent, he went to the store. He said, all right, I was just stopping. He was at his mama's house. So he saw Deon's car at Mama's house. So, just holler, whatever. And I was standing in the door. He never came in the house. He was standing at the door when I opened the door. Because, I guess he was just wanting to know if Deon was there. So I said, nah, he not here. I'll let him know you came by, whatever. I don't even think it lasted 2 minutes. And that was that. So he left. And when Deon got back, I told him, I said, hey, Vincent came looking for you. What he want? I said, well, I don't know. He came looking for you. Well, why he was talking to you? I said, well, Deon, I answered the door. Oh, well, I don't know. He kept saying, like, why he talking to you? Or why he come over here when I'm not here? It was something to that. Again, insecurities. Boy, other mama leaned up in that bed. Other mama said, come here, nigga. Just like that. And he was like, yes, ma'am. So he walked in the room and I don't know what made me walk in behind him, but I went in the room with him. Other mama said, let me tell you one damn thing, nigga. You see this woman right here? You gonna lose her. You gonna lose her, nigga. Do you understand me? And he said, yes, ma'am. Now she told you what that boy came over here and said, and you sitting up here asking all these damn questions, nigga. It happened just like what she said. But you won't lose her. I'll never forget that. I'll never.
That sounds just like other mom because you said nigga like she said she used to say nigga. She said knuckle like she put the N-U on that motherfucker.
That's why I named Decory, because the other mama died February. I guess I'll never forget this. I was pregnant with I just found out I was pregnant with Decory. So other mama passed February of 97. And that's how Decory got his name. I couldn't name her Cora. I couldn't name him Cora. Mm-hmm. But I said I want to incorporate her name into his name some kind of way. I knew that.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Me either.
Yeah, that's why he's Decory. Because Jayline is my firstborn. And even before I met Deon, I always did say I wanted to name my firstborn child after my dad. I guess because I lost my dad at such a young age. My dad's name was James Carlton Auzenne, but everybody knew him as JC. So when I found out I was having a girl, I said, well, I can't name James because I'm having a girl. So long story short, I said, I can't name her James, but she got to have my dad's initials. So that's why I named her Jayline Cantrell. So when I became pregnant with Decory, I was like, well, I can't leave my mama out. My mama's name is Patricia. Mm-hmm. So I found out I'm having a boy, so I'll name him Patrick. But in my head, I'm like, Patrick is such a common name. And then other mama passed. And I said, I got to incorporate her name some kind of way. And I came up, instead of Cora, I'll say Corey. And then I was like, Corey is a common name. And then I started kind of playing with it. And then I was like, Deon Corey. And I say, well, I'll take half of his name and the Corey from Cora. And I came up with Decory. And I said, that's I said, I don't see me calling him Patrick, so we'll call him Decory. And that's why everybody call him Decory. Decory is his middle name. I incorporated other mama's name into what I was going to name him.
Dang.
That's crazy. I never even knew that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Other mama died the year he was born. Yep.
Cheers to you. Cheers to you for that. That's dope. That's super dope.
That's super meaningful.
Get that Saints bullshit off there, goddamn.
Peace.